Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for FET, SUI and render price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna start on the 2-hour chart for FET to see what's going on and what happened yesterday and what we might get next. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 our impulse towards the upside for a wave A or a wave 1, A, B, and a C or WX and a Y. Finished already there, and potentially ABC as diagonal finishing around the 0.5 fib level, perfect with time and fib levels for wave 2. After this, we start to see this movement toward the upside as a potential wave 1 here in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave 1, and of course continuation simply for higher prices. Now after this wave 1 we see an A, B, and a C. You can consider even that this wave 1 already can be taken somehow here after an A, B, C running flat for a wave 4 and then moving for a wave 5, of course, in a wave 1. However, preferably, of course, that we see this as also like kind of like an ending diagonal, but yeah, the wave 5 is longer as well than the wave 3, giving a little bit the highest possibility for a wave 1 here to be, of course, higher. After this, of course, we are looking at a potential A, B, and a C here toward the downside, where I would like to prefer, of course, to have it as WX and a Y, and where you have anyway here a start, of course, with a zigzag and finishing also with a zigzag, and that means, of course, what is inside it also is a third zigzag, giving us a triple, of course, structure here in a potential W, X, Y, X, and a Z. Very complex structure for, of course, this price. I'm gonna show it, of course, on the 1-hour chart here for clearer price action. So basically you have kind of like a zigzag, and of course final zigzag for W, X, Y, X, and a Z here. Yeah, W, X, Y, X, and a Z. And then of course starting, of course, the impulse toward the upside with several 1-2s here. We are looking at, of course, in the micro level. Currently, of course, we have finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for this gray scenario. Wave 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finishing wave 3 in the white scenario where you have 1, 2, 3. Currently working on a wave 4 and a 5. Now this wave 4 here is taken, of course, from the wave 2 based on it. Now you can see that we have hit perfectly the fib level 0.23, but the fib time is not yet, of course, already taken from this wave 2 to move toward the upside, and I believe we still need to see like 3-wave structure before we continue, of course, for higher prices. So wave 4 is a little bit here much more requested before we start to move for higher. And basically the next, of course, price action is for wave 3 here in the yellow scenario, and simply continuation, of course, 3, 4, and a 5, 4 and a 5 toward the upside. In a bigger overview here, you would like to reach, of course, something, I would say at least as a target 1-to-1 fib level here that you can see on this chart. The 1-to-1 fib level is your wave C, don't forget. The wave C can be hit, of course, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 only with the orange scenario for a wave C. But don't forget that if you are in a wave 3 here, you might reach, of course, even much more higher, because you still have a 4 and a 5 to finish, of course, this wave 3 higher, of course, around the 2.65, and then continuation for even higher, potentially 4 and a 5 in the big orange scenario here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So this is what I'm looking for next, of course, as a price action. I'm still looking for higher prices, at least to 1.45 in an A, B, and a C for FET. So we are still in the middle of the way here, and we still, of course, looking for much more higher prices to unfold very, very soon. That was it for FET. Let's move for SUI. So for SUI right now on the micro level, sorry for the overwhelming micro level here, but basically on the micro level as well, I don't see yet, of course, a finished correction here. For I see, of course, a correction as an A, B, and a C potentially to unfold toward the downside here, hitting the 1.38, 1.6118 as an expanding flat taken, of course, from this A, B, and you're looking for a wave C toward the downside, hitting also in confluence 0.23, because currently you are in a wave 4 in this orange scenario, where we are, of course, in a 1, 2, wave 3, wave 4 to unfold, and then 5 toward the upside. So a little bit crowded for the micro. I will make it easier here for you guys on the, of course, 1 hour or 2 hours chart to see it much more better. So basically, as well, I would like to mention that we have broken the level for a wave C. The 1-to-1 fib level for an ABC has been overshooted, and of course giving higher potential for the next target 3.664, which is of course the wave 3 here that you would like to see, of course, toward the upside. And in this case scenario, I would say that this is a very nice indication that we are looking at. By the way, the wave C, this one, is given, of course, for this A, B, and a C, okay? Just to make sure that you got the idea. Also, for this diagonal here, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, we were looking for a diagonal wave for wave 5. Obviously, we broke, of course, those perfect fib level. We broke the 1-to-1 fib level, meaning of course, this is a wave 3 as an indication. So also we can remove this possibility. We are left right now with highest possibility, which is, of course, a 1, 2 here, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 continuation toward the upside. Of course, to be mentioned as well later on as well, another wave 1 that it has to be tested. This one I would say is gone, and next level is the 1.618. Also, we passed the 1.27 very nicely, and we're still looking for higher. Also, a level to be watched, of course, a 1-to-1 fib level taken from the A to the B to the C right now, because here, of course, you're gonna finish with this white scenario. You're gonna finish a perfect wave C, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this wave C can be, of course, as well the wave zigzag here. Well, as you know, that this might be an extended wave C, okay? Because we passed it already, as also mentioned. But don't forget that you can still have the 1.618, okay, which it might be as well, kind of like wave C extended. And if we finish it somehow like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, this is a little bit questionable, but of course it can be as well wave 3. Don't forget it for this scenario. Basically, what I'm looking at right now for this 1.61 is, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to hit the 1.61 taken from the 1, 2 here, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, so this is how the things are going to unfold. It is fractal, of course, as we know. SUI is very bullish, and we're still looking for a lot of higher prices. And of course, as you know, another scenario in a bigger overview here, where you have already an impulse as a wave 1 or a wave A. You know, when you finish this, all of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is becoming, of course, a wave C again. So if you are in 1, 2, wave 3, okay, you would like to simply, of course, overshoot this 1-to-1 fib level towards the 1.618, $10, I would say, of course, for a wave 3 in SUI. If we stop there at 5.8, we have to be careful, of course, from a big ABC here, and then moving toward the downside. So many steps, of course, still ahead for SUI. We have this level, and finally, of course, this wave 3 to be tested as well, and to see this big blue box, of course, hit as a bull run, right? So as a target for the bull run toward the upside. So that was it for SUI. Those are the next target, wave 3 at least 3.64, and even it might be even higher later on. It can be 3.90, yeah, for several, because you have 1, 2, 1, 2 here, yeah. So you have several wave 3 toward the upside. Great. Let's move for the next one, which is render. So for render, what we are looking at, of course, on the micro level, or before we moving to the micro, we have, of course, this impulse, very clear wave A or wave 1, very clear W, X, and Y hitting even the 886, which is not really nice, but still fine. We have an impulse 1, 2, and potentially 1, 2 again, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 toward the upside. Otherwise, we have to be careful right now, because you are currently in an A, B, and a C as well, hit at exactly 1-to-1 fib level. You have A, B, C, D, E. It's a signal for a wave B. Of course, in case it is a triangle, you have a wave C. 1-to-1 fib level can be, of course, hit there. However, as a signal that we did not potentially finished yet here is the micro levels, of course. In the micro levels, you have 1 2 1 2 1 2. Of course, triple 1 2 3 4 5 to finish wave 3 here, meaning 1 2 3 4 and a 5 already finished. Currently, ABC expanding flat wave 4 in the yellow, meaning you're still looking even for higher prices. Finally, you still have a big wave 1 2 here in the white scenario. If this does not unfold, if this wave 4 do not unfold after hitting this wave 3, we have to be careful, of course, because this might be still a signal for a wave C here in case we dive deeper. So we have to be careful with a render. But of course, I mean, a render is of course very bullish at the end on the daily as well. But what I'm afraid of is this 886, and I'm afraid that it turns a little bit here corrective, maybe turning of course to something like leading diagonal, big leading diagonal, meaning it's not bearish, but it might be like this, yeah, leading diagonal, and then having wave 1 and then wave 2. Yeah, so this is what I'm afraid of only for render. But next target for render is to look, of course, after of course the, let's say here, the 1.618. We don't have the targets here. Let's put the targets. So if we have, of course, a wave 3 here, we are looking in general for at least this target, 4.7. Okay, for render 4.73 can be, of course, the wave 3 next target here as 3 4 5 4 and a 5. Very nice, of course, but be careful from this 1-to-1 fib level. But I believe that one more wave will be, of course, decisively broken, and therefore, okay, we can relax a little bit and, of course, watch for a wave 4 and a 5 toward the upside. That was it for SUI, FET, and render price prediction. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.